What's up, G.I. Joe fans? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, got another fun one for you. From our G.I. Joe Medal of Honor collection. We bring you all the way from 2003. G.I. Joe Medal of Honor recipient Francis J. Pierce. Super cool figure, guys. We've had this in our museum collection. Let's bring this guy in for a very long time, since 2003. We purchased this figure back in 2003 from Toys R Us. And this is one of those figures, guys, that kind of jumped off of the toy store shelf and into my basket. Was just a phenomenal figure. Didn't really have one quite like this particular G.I. Joe. And at the time, I was really on a mission to collect all of the Medal of Honor recipients, G.I. Joe figures. And I had been tracking this beautiful Francis J. Pierce figure through my G.I. Joe Collectors Club. Just a beautiful, beautiful figure. You can see he's still beautifully factory sealed here inside of his box. The box is in beautiful condition. You can see how minty fresh this figure is. He still has the plastic that was wrapped around his machine gun. This figure came absolutely loaded with tons of accessories and equipment. Francis J. Pierce earned his Medal of Honor by going back into battle during, I believe they were located in Iwo Jima, and they were pinned down pretty good, and he was instructed and ordered not to go back in to help, because they didn't want to lose anybody else. But Francis J. Pierce, being a medic, really took it upon himself to disobey a direct order from his platoon leader, and he went back in to try to save as many people as he possibly could. And that just goes to really goes back to the age-old code of never leaving a fellow soldier behind, and Francis J. Pierce honored that code. As you can see, he is packed here with pretty much everything you would need in the field, and then some. You see gauze up here, a little bit of everything. There's canteen holder, medical tags, information, sutures, you name it. You got the transfusion bottle here, clamps, scissors, scalpels, you name it. There's his bag over here. But what the selling point was for me at the time when I purchased this figure and saw him in Toys R Us, what he was holding, it wasn't so much that the machine gun was really cool, but this beautiful stretcher that he was holding. It's massive. So it's made in scale to hold a 12-inch G.I. Joe. So he came ready to be, played with. And the playability factor of this figure was off the charts. I mean, look at all of the accessories and details that he has with him. Stethoscope on him. You name it. Beautiful helmet with the camouflage cover on it. Let's go up top of the box here. Equipment list here. Guys, want to give a couple of quick shout outs. Our good friend Judson. What's up, buddy? Matt Heel, Lindsay, Lady Pop Hunter, Open by Chance, Sean Henry. You know, the list goes on and on and on. These are some really cool subscribers and some really cool men and women that support our channel. And we wanted to do just a quick random shout out to those guys. We don't want you guys to 1 second to think that we don't appreciate what you do for us here at the M.I.B. Master Museum. Guys, if you're just joining us, welcome aboard. Join the fun. Join the family. Like and subscribe, guys. This is what we do. We're hanging out. I got some vacation time. It's birthday weekend for me, so we're having some fun. I said, let me come down here to the museum and let's do some videos. Let's do some reviews. This box is just beautifully made. Let's turn it all the way around and give you a blown out shot here. Just a beautiful, beautiful box. Now, this is another historical type figure, guys, that Hasbro and G.I. Joe teamed up to do. And I love the Medal of Honor figures because their boxes had so much information and historical content on it regarding the figure, regarding the actual soldiers and what they went through. Let's get you a year over here. 2003. There you go. This would make a fantastic poster. You can see Francis J. Pierce. He's got a fellow wounded soldier thrown over his shoulder. He's getting him out of the battle zone area. Let's turn this guy back around. Sometimes I just have to stop and smell the coffee, if you will. Sometimes I have to actually pinch myself when I walk into my museum and I see all these beautiful figures, and it's a true blessing to have these beautiful figures in our museum. And I just can't believe how much time has passed. This is a figure that came out in 2003. Here we are, 15 years later. And this figure looks like the first day I bought him out of Toys R Us off of the toy store shelf. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous figure. Collectability wise, this is a very collectible figure. He's very sought after, and surprisingly, a lot of collectors, or just your average toy collectors, didn't really know too much about this figure. This figure was really under the radar. The diehard G.I. Joe collectors know about this guy, but for the most part, he wasn't in the stores for that long. I don't know production-wise how many they made of this particular Francis J. Pierce figure, but haven't seen him a lot on toy websites, on eBay. I'm sure you can buy anything. I wouldn't go higher than $60 or $70 for this figure. That's me, but I bought mine right out of the store, so 15 years ago. So I would say I would always start with Cotswold Collectibles first. I've years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I saw this figure on Cotswold Collectibles, and I think he was selling at that time for around $75, $80. So somewhere around there. Now, guys, you have to include shipping and handling. So, this figure can go up an additional $10 or $15 depending upon where you live at. But yeah, if you don't have this guy in your collection and you're looking for him, try Cotswold Collectibles, and then I would say eBay. And those are the only two I would ever tell you to check out. But he's definitely a beautiful figure, and well worth having in your G.I. Joe collection. Guys, we'd like to thank you today for hanging out with us in our museum, hanging out with Francis J. Pierce, our G.I. Joe Medal of Honor recipient. You know the routine, guys. God bless. And keep collecting.